raise. I haven't seen a raise in my income since Proud Mary. And almost had to walk away from Color Purple. Yes, ma'am. Who said what? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because you know what? If I don't take a stand, how am I making it easy for Fantasia and Danielle and Hallie and Felicia? Then why am I doing this? I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired.
So what looks like Taraji P. Henson is sick and tired of being treated like crap by the powers that be in Hollywood, because she just made some big money moves announcing her plan to go independent and do her own thing. If y'all have been following her, then you know that the industry has been playing in her face for a long time. I'm talking about not nominating her for awards where she absolutely deserved to be nominated. And when she does get nominated, she's getting snubbed. Don't even get me started on how they try to play in her face when it comes to that money. And speaking of that, y'all remember how she called out the industry on his BS during the press run for The Color Purple, right? Well, it looks like the industry did not like being called out like that, and she got blacklisted as a result. Winter Street says that she lost on a lot of deals as a result of speaking up for herself. But it looks like she is done letting them play, because she just made an insane move that's going to lead to everybody being shocked. So what exactly does Taraji have up her sleeve? And is she really going to get revenge on everybody who blacklisted her? Let's get that good tea spilling. No, I know Taji is a very big deal in the Black community and in Hollywood, but at the same time we have to be pretty honest and admit that she doesn't always get her flowers the way that she deserves. I mean, she's brought to life the iconic character Cookie Lyons and the hit show Empire, and she even won an Emmy for her portrayal. And if that isn't daylight robbery, then I don't know what is. But after Empire ended, everybody thought that she was going to blow up and become the hottest actress in Hollywood, but her team seriously dropped the ball regarding that. In an interview, Taji opened up about the struggles she faced in Hollywood over the years, specifically how the people she trusted to manage her career completely fumbled the bag after bag after bag. In a candid interview, she revealed that when Empire wrapped, she expected her team to capitalize on the momentum and secure bigger and better opportunities for her. However, despite her repeated efforts to push them into action, they continuously failed to deliver. She explained that instead of mapping out a solid plan to elevate her career, they seemed to be coasting, leaving her to do all the heavy lifting. Even with they pushing them to make moves, nothing substantial ever came from their efforts, if they made any effort at all. The lack of progress became so frustrating that she eventually reached a breaking point, realizing that she was the only one truly invested in her success. She made the difficult but necessary decision to fire her entire team. She said, "Everybody had to go. Where is my deal? Where is my commercial? Cookie was at the top of the fashion game. Where is my endorsement? What did you have set up after this? That's why you all haven't seen me in so long." They had nothing set up. All they wanted was another cookie show. I'll do it, but it has to be right. And so when they didn't get it right, I was like, well, that's it. And they had nothing else. You're all fired. But even with that, we didn't know how serious the situation was until she was doing a press tour for The Color Purple, and it was as if something inside her broke, and she couldn't stop herself from talking about how bad it was while making her press round. Taraji didn't sugarcoat a thing when it came to discussing Hollywood's massive pay gap, especially how she had been underpaid, undervalued, and straight up disrespected for years. She's putting all this work, delivered iconic performances, and proven herself over and over again when it comes to these paychecks, though she's constantly being offered less than what she's worth. And let's be real, she's far from being the only one dealing with that BS. This isn't just about one actress getting short change. It's a deep-rooted issue that Black women across the industry in America have been dealing with forever. Reports have shown time and time again that Black artists and Black workers, especially Black women, sit at the bottom of the pay scale. No matter how talented or accomplished they are, meanwhile, their counterparts are getting massive deals and back-end profits and endorsement opportunities with the way less effort. It's the same story every time Black women work twice as hard and still have to fight for scraps, and Taraji was being frustrated enough to finally speak on it. Well, Taraji first spoke out about the pay disparity at the SAG-AFTRA event, where she revealed that despite all her years in the industry, she was still being underpaid, and she didn't hold back admitting that she hadn't seen a pay increase in over 5 years. Y'all, in fact, according to her, she's still earning the same amount she did back in 2018 when she started in Proud Mary. Now, considering how much she's been working since then, that alone was very wild to hear. But the real jaw-dropper was when she claimed that she was seriously lowballed for her role at Suge Avery in The Color Purple, and when she says lowball, she means lowball. The offer was so disrespectfully low that she actually considered walking away from the whole thing entirely. Imagine being a well-established award-winning actress and still having to debate whether a role is even worth your time because the paycheck is that bad. It goes to show how deep this problem runs, because if somebody of Taraji P. Henson's caliber is still being undervalued, you can only imagine what's happening to others in the industry.
Raise. I haven't seen a raise in my income since Proud Mary. And almost had to walk away from Color Purple. Yes, ma'am. Who said what? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because you know what? If I don't take a stand, how am I making it easy for Fantasia and Danielle and Hallie and Felicia? Then why am I doing this?
Now, that may have been the first time Taraji spoke out about it, but it definitely wasn't the last, and judging by how emotional she got the next time she addressed it, situation was clearly weighing heavy on her. In another interview with Gayle King, Taraji's frustration was on full display. She wasn't just bothered, she was hurt so much that in the middle of the conversation, she actually broke down in tears. The years of feeling overlooked, underpaid, and unappreciated had taken a serious toll. And in that moment, you could see just how much it was affecting her.
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. I hear people go, "You work a lot." I'll have to. The math ain't math.
But let's make one thing clear and two things certain: this wasn't just about the money. It was about respect she's dedicated decades to the industry, delivering powerhouse performances, and still finds herself fighting the same battles that she's been fighting since she started, and at this point is tired. She was tired, and she's done with it. And she was so tired that she admitted that she seriously considered walking away from Hollywood altogether. The idea that someone that's talented and accomplished as and beloved as Taraji would feel forced to leave the industry because of how poorly she's being treated, that should have been a wake-up call to the industry. But if history has shown anything, Hollywood has a nasty habit of ignoring Black women and their problems, and sometimes people who are bold enough to speak out get punished and blacklisted for speaking up, which is exactly what we're watching happen to Taraji right now. But let me cook, cause I'm going to get to that. Well, Taraji's comments hit the internet, and things escalated fast. What started as a conversation about pay disparity turned into a full-blown scandal, with people talking about that more than the actual movie. And when folks did bring up The Color Purple, it wasn't to anybody's surprise. It wasn't to praise the film. It was to call out Oprah for allegedly lowballing Taraji. And before long, social media was on fire. Oprah, who has built her brand on uplifting Black women, was suddenly being dragged for filled with people accusing her of being anti-Black and sabotaging our own people. The backlash was intense, and fans were holding back. They demanded answers, receipts, something to explain why Taraji, veteran in the industry, was supposedly being paid peanuts for such a major role. But when things really took a turn was when fans started to notice some weird tension between Taraji and Oprah during a press event for the film. People were side-eyeing their body language and the way they interacted, and even the way they spoke about each other. It was given something went down behind scenes, and the internet wasted no time speculating whether Taraji's comments were sparked with some behind-scenes drama between the two women.
Oh, hey, y'all are back.
Did you think you could escape?
Okay, awesome.
Get him.
I can't see a thing. Can anybody see anything? There we go.
Where are we looking?
Right here. Oh, wait, we're starting right down here.
Okay.
Everybody right down here, and then we're going to go all the way around the...
But y'all, there's even more because Taraji continued to speak up. And the more she spoke, the more she exposed the industry for treating black women badly. For example, she revealed that the producers didn't want to hire drivers for the cast, and that she had to fight for it because it was unsafe for her. She said, "They gave us rental cars. I was like, I can't drive myself to set in Atlanta. This is an insurance liability, is dangerous now. They robbing people. What do I look like taking myself to work by myself in a rental car?" And y'all, Oprah was getting a lot of hate because of this, and it only got worse when Taraji tried to defend Oprah, saying Miss Oprah has been nothing less than a steady and solid beacon of light to all the cast of The Color Purple. She has provided encouragement and guidance and unwavering support to us all. She told me personally to reach out to her for anything I needed. And I did. It took one call, one conversation, and one decision-making black woman to make me feel heard. Thank you, Miss Oprah, for all that you do. Well, fans didn't buy Taraji's statement, and they left comments saying, "Were you silent or silenced? She's scared of being blackballed by Oprah like Monique. All I see is what's not written, and I don't buy it. But I support you." Taraji fans immediately clocked that something was wrong behind the scenes, and it turns out they might have been right. The rumors started swirling that Oprah was about to blackball Taraji, just like allegedly she did to Monique. And if y'all remember that whole mess, then you know it was ugly. Now, for those of you who need a refresher, Monique and Oprah had a major fallout after the movie Precious. Oprah wanted Monique to go on a full-blown press tour for the film, but then Monique refused because, according to her, she wasn't getting paid for it. Oprah allegedly made some calls, and suddenly Monique found herself blacklisted from Hollywood. No, Monique has been very vocal about it for years. Kling, Oprah, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels all worked together to shut her out of the industry. So when Taraji started speaking out about her treatment on The Color Purple set, folks immediately made the connection. The conversation should have been about celebrating the film and hyping it up for audiences. Instead, it was completely derailed into a discussion about how black women productions was reportedly mistreating black actresses. Let's be real, that's all horrible look for a premiere. But just when we thought that it couldn't get any worse, Danielle Brooks and Fantasia came forward with their own experiences, and y'all, it was a mess. They confirmed that working conditions on the set were far from ideal. We're talking no private dressing rooms, no proper lunch breaks, and just overall chaos. Apparently, they were all crammed into one big room until Taraji stepped in and said enough. She confronted Oprah directly, and to be fair, they all agreed that once Oprah was made aware of the situation, she did step in and try to fix it.
I remember when we first came in and we were doing rehearsal and they put us all in the same space. Like, we didn't have our own dressing rooms at the time, and they did not give us it. Sorry, Miss O, we didn't have no food.
She had no idea.
She didn't know what was going on.
She had no idea.
She was like,
I heard about it.
Oh, yeah.
and you corrected it for us. You corrected it.
Didn't I
for us.
call you?
Yes, and I was like, Miss O, we gotta fix this. And she said, say less. And was it not
And
fixed?
that's what I appreciated, though. You were our voice, because a lot of times, yes, I've done a lot of TV, I've done a lot of films, specifically independent films, but this is my first studio film. So sometimes you do come in just saying, okay, well, I'm going to just take whatever they give me. I'm just happy to be here, you know? But you spoke up for us and you showed me how to do that. But what I've really enjoyed is your sisterhood is authentic.
Oprah also had an interview where she outrightly denied being in charge of the budget, claiming that it was all the Warner Brothers and she was getting paid a salary just like everybody else.
A lot of great reviews, but it really didn't pull in as much money as expected at the box office. Then y'all want to guess who the higher-ups blamed for the flop, Taraji. That's who, according to an insider, The Color Purple made less than $12 million in the opening weekend and has to date grossed $58 million. And that gross $58 million number does not go to the studios. One studio executive explained that the studio will only get about $24 million, and the other half will go to the theater that showed the film. With a budget of $100 million, plus marketing, the film has as of now lost at least $75 million. But in situations like this, somebody has to take the fall, and according to the source, that someone in this case is Taraji, because the studio execs are holding her responsible, the insider said. Executives blame Taraji Henson for derailing the promotional efforts of the film and using it as a selfish opportunity to change her personal narrative as an aging and underpaid actress. But while Taraji is taking some heat, so is Oprah for not controlling the legendary actress well, according to reports. Some very powerful people, and I'm not going to name any names, allegedly started pulling strings behind the scenes to get back into Taraji world on the streets, is that they wanted to punish her for stepping out of line and complaining about how she was being done dirty instead of just taking it like a good girl. But honestly, when you look at her career, since it's not hard to see that she's only worked on one major project since The Color Purple was released, and that's Fight Night. But while it was good, she reported to have signed the contract for that before she got blackballed, so there was no way around it. And she hasn't really started anything else since then. And for someone who used to be booked and busy, well, y'all get the picture. But get this, she is done letting other people control her career, because she just made the massive move to go independent. Not only that, but she already secured herself a deal with Independent Artist Deal. According to reports, she signed with Independent Artist Group for representation. YAG will also represent Henson's production company TP Entertainment, which has a first look deal at that. I will work closely with Henson and her Emmy-winning head of development and production, Jamila Jordan, teach in helping to build out TP Entertainment, which has numerous projects in development that fit our mission to bring bold, authentic, and diverse voices to the forefront, push boundaries, and create impactful content that resonates with audiences everywhere. So it looks like she's not letting herself get stopped by anybody who is trying to stop her. And she is determined to make something of herself, even with the blackball. And she seems to be doing well, because her potential deal with Bet promises to be huge. But in the meantime, y'all, let me know how you feel about this. Drop your thoughts and comments below. And then check out this next video.